What up? What up? So, real quick, I'm in my spirit room, man. I ain't gonna show y'all everything, but I had to make this video, man, because I see a lot of people are suffering in this area, and it's gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings. But I promise this out of love. But I'll just get straight to it. As a community, we have to stop feeding into our delusion. We have to stop feeding into our delusion. And what I mean by that is, the truth is the truth. Period, man. It has nothing to do with your feelings. It has nothing to do with your black pride. It has nothing to do with how people are going to look at you. It has nothing to do with what somebody you might respect or might have been a master teacher. It has nothing to do with what they said on a particular video 10 years ago. That's not what this is, man. And we fall into delusion for two reasons. One, because our pride. We don't want to admit that we're wrong. And also because we're lazy. People expect Bobby Hemmett, Phil Valentine, hell, Dr. York, Brother Panic, Brother Yosef, you can name niggas up. People are expecting them to do their spiritual work for them. Not consciously, but unconsciously. And I can prove it. Because when you turn on Bobby Hemmett, you feel the spirit. You feel the spirit. And you, because you feel the spirit and he hypes you up and blah, 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 you have the tendency to believe. And he also feeds your ego with the whole white people ain't nothing, they ain't got no soul and blah, blah, blah. As soon as you cut that video off, then you no longer feel like that. That's why you have to continually have YouTube videos playing in the background to keep you up in a certain place, because you don't know how to bring that spiritual power and prowess from within your heart out, rather than needing somebody to try to penetrate you when it can't. Pause. Needing somebody's information to penetrate your being when it can. It just ain't gonna, it don't work like that. And I'm just gonna be real. I spent many years wasting time not really doing work. You just listening to videos, and you feed into delusion. Like, for instance, in all respect to Bobby Hemmett and what he's done, and my nigga said a lot of shit that was wrong. Flat out fucking wrong. He said a lot of shit that was flat out fucking right. So the key is to not listen to and not take everything he's saying literal. First of all, this is the thing. When you're in this spiritual, this occult shit, you're constantly finding answers and you're constantly finding contradictions to what you knew before. There's been plenty of things that I was sold on 100% yesterday, but today I woke up like, I don't know about that, my nigga. And that's just how it goes. And we have the tendency to stick to the spirit or the character who's drawn upon all these spirits that Bobby Hemmett and pouring all of these libations and everything. He's drawing all of these spirits. That's what's attracting to you. The spirituality, which cannot be explained in words, as I've said before. Delusion sets in when we stop willing to be wrong to get to the right answers. Think about how many times Bobby Hemmett said some shit that was just incorrect. Like, he said you could do a abortion with like echinacea and vitamin C. And I'm sure, shit, you take enough of it, and I'm sure he's right. But he like gave out a dosage or some shit, and obviously that was something that he was dealing with that worked for him. Now keep in mind, this is the same nigga that said that he got sick and he healed himself with peach soda. So that right there cancels out all scientific right and wrong shit. And when we're listening to these occult and these spiritual niggas, hell, even the scientific niggas, we have to stop learning to we have to learn to stop taking everything so literally. Because nobody can be 100% right when they're speaking. And you would know this if you were actually in the field learning shit, meditating, dealing with one realization, dealing with the opposite the next day. If you were actually in the field doing this occult work, you would understand why Bobby Hemmett spoke the way he did. And all of these other metaphysical occult niggas. Because words can't explain what's going on. You keep talking, eventually you're going to contradict yourself. That's how this realm goes. It's a realm of polarity. So we have to, as a community, to stop ourselves from getting deluded and constantly, we have to commit ourselves to the truth. Not to Bobby Hemmett, not to blackness, not to the Democrats, not to whatever gang you in, whatever fraternity, whatever. No, you have to commit yourself to the truth. And if you're not brave enough to come out here and document what you're saying, and I'm not saying that, I don't want to say brave like there's some nobility in being a fucking YouTube nigga. There's no nobility in this. It does not make you any more, it actually makes you look like a joke to a lot of niggas, if we being honest. So this YouTube shit, man, I'm telling y'all, man, this is the illusion. Y'all think that y'all are in the promised land, but you're not. Niggas left Christianity and joined the fucking Nuwapians. Where the nigga was telling them, Dr. York was telling these niggas that you are God, you are the Messiah, you are this, you are that, it's all in you, you're a non-ether being, and blah, 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 blah. But then turns around right after that, and it not only he encouraged these niggas to worship him. Which is a complete contradiction, because if I'm God, why would you encourage me to worship you? That's a complete contradiction. That's you telling me what I want to hear, but psychologically, you still got me in the same bind as Christianity had me in. But because people have developed a love for this nigga and he did all of this, blah, blah, blah. Nigga, I mean, same, because they developed a love, let me finish my thought. ADHD be working. Because he's encouraging people to do that. It cancels out everything he's doing. It don't matter how much good you attempted to do for the community. You can say that Dr. York helped and blah, blah, blah. But in reality, in the grand scheme of things, all he did was keep niggas stuck and stagnant on a certain level of spirituality, not allowing them to go to the next level. Well, while that level was better than the Christian dead level, it's a trick to make you think that you're doing something better when in reality, this universe is about movement. So just because you're in a better place than you were 10 years ago, don't mean that you're doing good with your life. You should be in a better place than you were 10 years ago. But how quickly did it take you to progress in that 10 years? How long were you sitting around bullshitting, contradicting yourself, introducing conflicting energies, i.e. worshiping a nigga and then turn around and calling yourself God to a Christian nigga that you're debating? We gotta stop feeding into the delusion, my nigga. Like, I can go on for days. This whole irrational war against white people. Bro, that shit ain't helpful, bro. You sit up here talking about what white people done, bro. Like, bro, we know. We know what white people done did. We know at this point, if you still on that, you holding yourself back. And I'm gonna keep 100 with y'all. Fucking rap music today's rap music is way more harmful than white supremacy is. And that's a fact. And that's 100% fact. It's way more harmful. You got niggas talking about murder like it's smoking gas. Hell, literally. Talking about smoking dead, homie, like it's just cool. Just seen a video of a young nigga in a Chick-fil-A talking about gunplay, arguing with a nigga. Back in my day, and I was born in 94, so I'm still young. But shit, back in my day, the first thing that came out of my mouth was, nigga, I beat your ass. It wasn't, oh, I get guns and blah, blah, blah. But the same artists are still here trying to convince themselves that they have no responsibility. That they have no, and we're steady watching our community unravel into shit, into hell, and then finding every finger to point but yourself. Niggas cry over what's the last rapper that died? P&B Rock. But then right after they cried over P&B Rock, they went to turn on some Lil Durk. Delusion, man, it's stupid and it's fucking us up. No, my bad, it's fucking y'all up. It's fucking y'all up, man. And unfortunately, because the internet is the place of illusion, it's the perfect place to trap somebody within a certain sphere, a level of knowledge, and not let them move any higher up. Spend 3 years on YouTube videos and watch how you don't progress any in your spirituality. Any. I'm talking about at all. Chill, you might degrade. You probably will. Because you getting that spiritual juice up from the videos, so now you thinking that you ain't got to meditate. You can just wake up and throw on a fucking Bobby Hemmett video, a Black Magic 363 video. And you think hearing that is going to register with your subconscious? Yeah, sure. Yeah. But if you want to say that, hell, we all at some level are already made it or whatever. So you have a higher self that's benefiting off of that. But your body, you're still living in hell. You're still experiencing, your consciousness is still in hell. All the shit that Bobby Hemmett was going hard about the dark side, Brother Panic going hard about the dark side. At a certain point, you got to say, hey, bruh, this dark side shit ain't everything. This dark side shit is literally just chaos that you're supposed to bring into order, which is the light side. That's all it is. But because at one point I wasn't doing my work, I was vicariously living through fucking Brother Panic and Bobby Hemmett and all these other, Phil Valentine, all these other niggas, Delbert Blair, because I was vicariously living through them, I mistakenly thought that Bobby Hemmett was at the same place spiritually and mentally as he was when he shot that fucking video in 94. When he's not. When in all reality, you might meet that nigga and he might say, shit, I don't co-sign none of that shit. All of that shit is wrong. Which I doubt that's true. But you have to be prepared for that mentally for at any time. To be able to throw out what you think you know or what your teacher thinks they know. You have to be open. You got to be open. Your mind's got to be open. That's how you fight delusion. By not always commenting on things, not always tuning in, thinking that you got to admit. No, separate yourself from all that bullshit. Separate yourself from all of these teachers and all of this shit and tap in. Meditate. Get off the internet. Meditate for a month and then come back. Guess what you're going to find out? That you missed all the bullshit and all the real shit, all the downloads going to be right spot on with the rest of the fucking spiritual community. Or with the shit that needs to be, that you need to get, not all the bullshit. This happened to me hundreds of times. And I mean hundreds. You improve yourself, you get better when you step away from illusion and delusion. And the internet is illusion and delusion. Me talking on this fucking screen right now is giving the illusion that I'm talking right now, whatever time is on your clock. So, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I said a lot of shit. Video was off for like fucking 10 minutes and I was still talking. So I said a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, you get the gist. Let go of this shit, man. Let go of what you think is real, bro. Let go of what you think makes you. Let go of what even the newfound you that allowed you to be this strong, Afrocentric motherfucker. Man, fuck that. It's false. It's delusion. It's delusion. It's delusion. It's delusion. We have to take responsibility for our energy, for what we do with it, and how it affects the world around us. We have to take responsibility. And step one to taking responsibility is stop putting your spiritual load on other niggas. Stop putting it on Bobby Hemmett. Stop putting it on Brother Yosef or anybody else who's on this internet shit or off the internet. Stop putting it on them. Because you don't know them. They don't know you. And they are not the person that's in that video. That's a completely separate entity that they've grown past. As soon as they turn that off, they're more than that. They're a greater entity. They get better and better because they're actually doing the work. But what happens to you? You progress or degress depending on what video you're watching. You digress or progress or regress depending upon somebody else's spiritual downloads. You should be alarmed if you find yourself tuning in to everything a nigga gotta say. You should be alarmed if you find yourself one of those people that's always on a nigga live stream first asking questions. You should be alarmed because what if something happens to this nigga? Well, I know you're going to find somebody else to dick ride. Because that's what you got to do to survive. Or your ass going to go back to the church and dick ride the pastor again. I'm just going to keep 100 with y'all, man. Y'all dick ride Rashad Jamal, free him. Y'all dick ride Dr. York. Y'all dick ride fucking Bobby Hemmett. Y'all dick ride Brother Panic, even though Brother Panic and Bobby Hemmett tell y'all to stop dick riding. Bobby Hemmett's a little nicer than Brother Panic, so he ain't gonna tell you. But he told y'all to stop dick riding. Niggas still dick riding. Because y'all are here for entertainment. Y'all aren't here for growth. And y'all ain't fooling nobody but them other entertainment eating ass niggas. That's the only people y'all fooling. Oh, and yourself. Of course. So I encourage y'all, man, let go of that dumb shit, bro, because you're not growing. And that bullshit is going to have your ass reincarnated back on this earth again. That bullshit is going to have your ass reincarnated back on this earth again. Keep fucking around. Keep fucking around. Because it ain't me. It ain't my soul. I'm good. I puts my work in. All of these YouTube teachers, they're good. They putting their work in. So they can stop doing videos tomorrow. They good because they doing their spiritual work. What would happen to you though? Meditate, learn, ask questions. Fuck nigga.